Well, the face is familiar.
Yeah. 6:47 is what I want to harp on here. 6:47 tonight, sunset in Portland.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's nice. Yeah,
I'm pretty
that feels
excited
good.
That was a great dance.
You like that?
Good move.
That's
like,
his daylight saving time.
yeah, so when
dance.
Luca can't dance, you know what happened. You know, it's not Paula's fault. Sorry. The sunset thing it's a mental thing, right? I know people talk about they lost an hour, and I noticed it too. But the fact that we have that sunset later, temperatures are warmer this week in general. I think it's going to feel like a springy week. However, spring in Maine still will bring us a little snow. We'll talk about that in a second. 44 for high today, officially in Portland, 44 in Wiscasset. Average high is 42. Tonight, we're not going to be all that cold, dropping down to about 40 along the coastline. 30s inland, a couple of snow squalls are possible in the mountains as well, worth noting. Tomorrow's actually going to warm up pretty quickly under a mixture of sun and clouds, but there will be way more cloud cover than today in most spots. But we'll get into the upper 40s here over the southern half of the state. And so you think, well, that's not going to allow any snow to come in, but the timing of this little system is overnight, and that becomes important this time of the year. Snow comes in overnight. This model just obviously went a lot colder than the last run here. I think, though, the snow builds in, and I do believe that the rain snow line is closer to Wiscasset. I think in Portland we're not going to see any real accumulating snow unless something drastic changes here. But it's snowing through a good part of the night inland into western Maine, into New Hampshire, and that snow continues into the very early morning hours on Wednesday before this system moves out. And it's a bright day in which we melt quite a bit of snow on Wednesday. Thursday, we should be able to get into the 50s. So, the snow that comes through will be short-lived. But I do think we could see a couple of inches here, 1 to 2 inches. Right down to the north of Portland. Augusta, Lewiston's probably in the 2 to 4, as is Freiburg and Berlin. We'll watch the latest trends there. Like I said, you could see that model just went a little colder. So let's watch the mid-coast. They might have to be included in the 1 to 2 inch category. Either way, this is not a huge deal, but it is some snow for the morning commute on Wednesday, which shall melt Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures in the 50s. Friday, I don't know if we're going to get a ton of sun at this point, but we'll be in the mid-60s, so it'll be quite mild on Friday before we cool down for the weekend. And the weekend is its own story. There's a storm on Saturday. The European model has a legitimate snow event, snowstorm really. The GFS has the warm front in Quebec City. It is a torch and it is raining. So, it's hard to say right now. I hate to put rain or snow, but if you're going to do it, at least it should be far out in the range as it is. I trend to thinking that these models will come to a compromise in which the mountains may get snow, but the rest of us may get rain on Saturday. That's kind of my gut on it, but that's just a feeling. So we'll keep an eye on it as we get closer. And as you can see, either side of that is mild. Friday, as I mentioned, especially if we can get any sun in there, will potentially be in the mid-60s on Friday, which is quite nice.
Even though that probably won't last more than a day or so, those temperature trends seem to spell really how difficult it is to get a significant snowstorm right now.
Yeah, and really overnight starts to be more important mid to late March now.
Yeah. And we haven't seen the single digits for about a week and a half.
January
like
hammered us with it. After that, it calmed down. Yeah.
Thanks, Keith.